Kia ora e te whānau. Now that, usually I say to you guys, hi my lovelies, but I actually feel like you're more my family now. So what that means is that is in Te Reo, which is New Zealand Māori, and I do my best to pronounce things as best I can, but kia ora is greetings, and whānau is family or friends likened to family. So I think from now on I feel like my greeting to you guys should be kia ora e te whānau. Anyway, so a while ago in my Lavish Laces and Sample project journal, I made a removable belly band, and I'm going to make one for this journal that I'm doing for my friend as well. So I just thought I may as well jump on, and while I'm making it, show you guys how to do it. It has an elastic back, and how I came up with this, and I made a couple of mistakes first when I was making it because I hadn't seen one done. I had to kind of figure it out myself. But if I've got an A5 piece of paper, so here's the journal, I wanted to, you know how things don't stay behind belly bands very well, and it drives me mental. You could use those little arrows again, like I have shown on my previous video about the belly band paper stacker. But what I want is to stretch the elastic and sew it on, and that means that anything on this side of the page with just the strips of elastic should hold quite nicely, and this side will hold onto the page quite well, because I want you to be able to remove it and put it wherever you want. So it is made out of, I would say, chipboard. Can you see that? That is about 2 millimeters thick, so that it sits slightly higher and slightly lower than the page, because when you fasten it, you still need to be able to slip it onto the page. So you don't want anything fastened below here or above here, so that it still fits an A5 page nicely. That was the mistake I made. I made this beautiful belly band, and then I tried to put it on a page, and it warped the page because of the elastic, obviously. I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I made a shorter page, put that in the journal, and I made another one. So here we go. I have done this so that hopefully it's just really the mechanics I'm showing. I'm not showing you how to suck eggs, but I have done it in stages. So the first thing I have done is I just wrapped paper around. I glued it to one side, folded around one side, and glued the other side. So this is the raw edge of the cardboard, and this is just the folded edge of the pretty paper from Paper Luminary, which I can give you a code for 25% off. I don't earn anything from that, but this paper is gorgeous, and I'm using it all through the journal, so I will put that information below as well. So if you do want some, you can grab some. Then I made a couple of pockets. So just for interest on this side, there's going to be a couple of pockets there. So what I did to make those, just laminated some flowers. Then I cut pieces of card that just had a little bit either side, so that they're going to be my fold-in edges. You don't want too much, because I don't want to be able to see these folded edges coming through the other side. But I did want to see that pretty paper behind the laminate. I couldn't find my circle that was the right size. I had a smaller one that didn't fit the flowers, and a bigger one that was only just making the size of the square, which would have made it quite flimsy. So I just chose this, and it's actually cut, if you can see that, quite a pretty little edge. So I've got, as you can see, it's still in there, a couple of doilies, paper doilies I can use afterwards, just from Temu. Okay, and then I have inked my edges, as always. I have glued with Fabri-Tac, or my version of it, which is Helmer's, and then I have sewn just to reinforce it, because that Helmer's and Fabri-Tac doesn't work the best with the laminate. And then I'm just going to, because this is a writing journal, I'm going to stuff up a couple of really pretty little papers in there just for her to write notes on. Okay, so what we want to do, and I'm just using this side as the back because that teeny little bit of there peeled off and you can see my board underneath, which annoys me. So I am hoping that when I stick these on, it's going to camouflage that a little bit more. Any elastic would do. I had looked at using something like this, but I will show you why I didn't. Because although it would have looked really pretty, the moment you stretch it, it kind of buckles, and I didn't want to add that kind of bulk. So I'm just going to use 2 strips of this instead. And usually what I do is I will just stretch it, and because this board is nice and stiff, which is why I have recommended it, it's going to hold that elastic tight without the board bending, which is why I haven't done it with just cardstock. I've done it with something really significant, and it will help hold it on. So I'm going to need 2 that are about that big, and I have lost my scissors. Story of my life. I will pause you while I find my scissors. Found them. So I'm just going to cut 2 pieces exactly the same without stretching the elastic. And then what you're going to do is I am going to put a bit of fabric tack on there, and then I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to put a bit on there, and I'm going to clip that while the glue dries. I'll just go and find my clips. I found one. You want them quite sturdy, reasonably sturdy clips that are quite firm, because it is elastic. So, but if you're going to do it like me with one clip, which I will not do on camera, I promise. And then I'm just going to decide, I think I'm going to face both of the frilly sides to the outside. So yeah, this is going to be a longer process for me, but don't worry, I will pause so that you guys don't have to watch this part. So while I'm off camera, oh, glue running away again, and I just do this by eye, I'm not measuring it. When I put the next one on, I'm just going to make sure that that's about the same amount there. So I'll just put the clip on, and then I'm going to glue that edge, try and find another clip, and then I am going to sew across there and across there. Okay, so I will do that and I will come back. Okay, so base part done. I'll just show you how that works. Just need to find a blank page. Pretty obvious, but you know, now you could make that prettier. You could then glue or sew something maybe circular or something just on there. I mean, that would look pretty cool. But see, now that that is below the page, it's not pulling the page. Okay, and if I stick something in there, that's nice and firm. And hopefully if I stick something in there, that's nice and firm. So all I was going to do next, I don't know if you want me to actually show you, or whether I should just, I suppose you can always turn off if you're ready to go, can't you? So all I'm going to do now is, just to make that a little bit prettier, we're going to glue these onto here. And I'll just show you that back again. So all I did was I got this card and I just kind of marked where I needed to fold it, and then I centre the die cut in the middle, run it through the die cut, and then where I fold it, if I could see these edges through the hole, then I just trimmed them slightly back so that you couldn't. Trimmed there, trimmed those corners off just to reduce bulk, and then I explained the rest. And I was going to think, because you don't need this part, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a couple of eyelets up here, and then I'm going to thread like ribbon or a bow through it so that it just pretties it up top and bottom again, because as you saw, it does stick up a little bit. So let's make that purposeful. So yeah, you can turn off if you like now, or you can keep watching and just watch me finish it off. I won't be doing much talking because it's pretty obvious. So enjoy the quiet. Okay, so last step, just grab some pretty paper. I mean, you could always leave these blank, or you could ink the edges, or you could pop some pretty little tags in there. Lots of different things that you could do. I'm just going to pop some paper in, just so that it's extra note paper to write on. And then you just slide it on, and it can go on any page the person wants. Slide something behind there, obviously, and oh, I missed an elastic. Now I hope that wasn't too much faffing. Come craft with me on my craft bed. As most of you know, I do not have a craft room, I have a craft bed. There we go. Now we're nice and firm, and we've got 2 belly bands. There we go. And if you do happen to make her just a wee bit short, when you sew them on, you could just make a slightly shorter page in your journal, and then you wouldn't have to worry about that. So when she's in her journal, she will show a little bit of lace top and bottom. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's something that you haven't seen before. I made that, yeah, probably somewhere towards the middle of this year or early this year, and I know one lady saw it and she gave me a shout out, and she'd tried it, but she did make it slightly differently, because obviously it wasn't a tutorial. She just saw it in my journal and said how much she liked it and thought she would make one. So there you go. If I haven't already, I will see you for the giveaway draw on Sunday. I'm hoping to post this before then. Sorry if there's any shadows, it's because it's night here in New Zealand, and I just wanted to make this. I was in the mood and I wanted to make sure I videoed it for you guys. Alright, have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.